Got your Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session. Today we have a special guest, Mr. John Hunter, here in person to teach us all the ways about Zillow Showcase and everything that it entails. So, without further ado, Mr. John Hunter, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Wanted to kind of just background a little bit of background. We're always looking at products. We're always looking at technology. We're always looking at things that, how can we make you better? How can we make you win more listings? How can we make your sellers happier or your buyers happier? We've always had this kind of at arm's length with Zillow, right? We sort of have the Heisman, right? Anybody know the Heisman? Like we're close, but we're not that close because we don't always like what you do. They've done some things over the years that we just haven't really loved. And so we've always had this kind of like, we're not going to sign anything with you. We're not going to do anything with you. Then this product came along and it was like, all right, this seems to work. This seems to make sense because it benefits you and it benefits your seller. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. Eric, if you want to share your screen and throw up that first presentation. Yeah. So at the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to promote you as a listing agent. We want you to get more listings. So when you go to a listing appointment, we want you to feel more confident that you're going to win that listing treatment, that listing appointment. And then we want your sellers to feel really good about what they're doing, right? And so, and partnering with you. So I'm going to run through this really quickly. And then we're just going to do a live demo. And if you were on the call last week, you'll see a little bit of the same. But this is an opportunity for you to be interactive and ask questions and make sure you feel confident so that when you go into that listing appointment, or you want to relaunch a listing. And what we're seeing right now is we're seeing a lot of people that have had a listing that's kind of stagnant. And they're going to the seller and they're saying, hey, let's do a price reduction and let's launch this new Zillow Showcase as well. So think about it in two different lenses. One, winning listing appointments and how you're going to market your listings from this point forward. And then number two, that stagnant seller who hasn't sold and hasn't got the views. How can you go back and get a better listing, a price reduction? The one that I'll show you later, they got $1 million price reduction by using this product. Now the listing was $6 million, and it was overpriced, but still. So we're going to talk a little bit about how it benefits your sellers, your buyers, you as the broker, and some keys to success, some things that you can walk away with right now. Moving forward.
You have this just printed out.
We can't hear you.
The Zillow Guide Showcase. I can speak up. So you have this printed out. Is this just a visual?
So this is kind of internal, right? This is for you guys. The question is do we have this available for you? We are putting together marketing pieces that you can fit and sit down with in front of your seller. And so this is sort of education, right? Like when you go to a class, you're going to learn about what the product is. And then we're going to give you some marketing pieces that you can sit down with the seller and say, here are all the benefits of taking advantage of working with me. And this is why it's exclusive to us. So, and what I mean by exclusivity is you can get this right now. Any company, any agent can get this product right now. The thing that you have to do though, is you have to sign a 12-month contract and you have to pay $750 per month for those 12 listings. So $9,000, you can get this right now. Your competitors can go pay $9,000 if they can get this. But we're going to show you how you can get it for a lot cheaper and for not having to sign a contract because we have signed it. So I think the one big thing here, down at the bottom, you can barely see, our big competitor a lot of times that you don't know is Redfin. Redfin has 60 million unique visitors per month across the nation. Zillow has 227 million. So almost 4 times as much traffic as Redfin does. You can look at homes.com, realtor.com, also 149.90. Zillow is where your buyers are, right? Zillow is where sellers look. A lot of times you'll get an email directly right after the listing goes live. Hey, I don't see it on Zillow, or this is wrong on Zillow. This is an advantage. This is an opportunity for you to fix some of that stuff. And so we're going to talk all about these features, and we're going to do live, so I'm going to skip over that. One other thing that we note is exclusivity. So once the market gets saturated to 10%, so 1 out of every 10 listings, Zillow stops selling showcases. They won't sell a showcase to any other. So even if you wanted to sign a 12-month contract for $750 a month, you wouldn't be able to in that market. You, on the other hand, because you're part of the enterprise agreement, we can go above that 10%. So even if the market's saturated at 10%, we still get additional credits because of the enterprise agreement. So you can feel confident going into a listing presentation that no matter what, you can offer a Zillow showcase to a seller. So that's kind of a cool thing. And I did this little stat. Right now, there's only 2% of listings are actually doing showcase. So last week I did one for Newcastle, all of Newcastle. There was somewhere around 130 listings, and there were 4 showcase listings. So you're going to stand out, and we're going to show you how you're going to stand out. This is all Zillow stats, so I haven't proven it. I'm going to try and prove it as we go. But one of the things that they say is if you compare a non-showcase listing to a showcase listing, right? So somebody that has a showcase listing versus a non-showcase listing, you're going to get 79% more page views. You're going to get 76% more saves. And the big one, I think, is 91% more shares. Why do I think shares are more important?
It's interesting.
They're interested, right? They're either sending it to their partner or they're sending it to their agent saying, I want to go take a look at this. And so those shares, I think, are really awesome. And I think that's something that we can definitely highlight with our sellers. They say roughly 2% more on a higher sales price. And I just want to do the math really quickly. What's 3% of $9,000? What's 3% of $9,000?
$270.
$270. That would cover majority of the cost of showcase. So we'll talk about that here shortly, if that is true. But I can't prove it, right? And this is what I'm regurgitating stats that they give me. They also say that you're 10% more likely to get an accepted offer within the first 14 days. So your listing sells faster and it sells for more, and you get more prominent advertising, which is kind of cool. I think those are 3 big wins. And then prioritize placement. This is something that the sellers really like, that we've learned from talking to people. When you do a search, your listing is going to show up first as a Zillow showcase. So when you type in Seattle, the showcase listings show up first before everybody else shows up. So that's kind of cool. This is something that we haven't talked that much about, but we should, especially with our sellers, is the automated buyer outreach. So if at any point in time you've gone to Zillow and you've signed in for an account, Zillow has your information. And if you have, you know how many emails you get from Zillow. So you'll get an email from them saying, hey, a home you might like has just jumped on the market. They might not have a search up there, right? They may have searched at one point in time for a home, but just because you are part of that Zillow showcase, they're going to feature your listing and they're going to be pushing it out to buyers, which means more exposure for you and more exposure for your sellers. And it's an algorithm that Zillow's created. I don't know how it works or what it does, but if I do a search for a modern house at one point in time on Zillow and I'm logged in, when your listing comes on and it's modern, it's going to push that listing out to yourself, to your buyers, to the buyers, not your buyers, but hopefully your buyers soon. Premium presentation, we'll talk about that. We'll do that in person. And then exclusivity, ultimately, once we get to 10%, ideally we get 10% of all listings and we do showcases on all of them, we cut out all the other competitors out there. There's a couple other brands that have signed agreements, but they're national brands. So they're Berkshire Hathaway. How many times do you go against Berkshire Hathaway? And I looked at all of their listings, not a single person is using Zillow Showcase, which is interesting. It's agency. So high-end listings, agency tends to be luxury. And so there's that, and then there's Remax. So those are the 3 national brands that are using it. So if you're up against one of those agents, they can theoretically use the same kind of conversation. Or what I've noticed is that majority of the people that sign these contracts are small firms. They're small. Berkshire Hathaway, Remax, and agencies. Question.
So is there anything like this out there besides us competing against right now, Showcase, which is the best product you're seeing is out there right now?
For marketing percent, so the question is this the best product out there? In my personal opinion, yes. I don't see anything else I don't see homes.com. You could do your listing, your lead with homes.com, and you can pay for packages, and that sponsors it, and that shows up on Seattle Times and things along those lines. But that's a round robin, and there's no definitive. Like I can't see stats that say that if I do a sponsored post on homes.com that you're getting any sort of data on the back end as far as it sells faster or more, or it gets more advertising. So, which is why we did this, right? So, buyers have a better experience overall, just because if they are looking at this, they're going to either rule out your listing before they ever see it and waste your time. But if they do like your listing, they can send it to their mom in Ohio, and mom gets to walk through the house, and mom gets to see all the cool stuff, and then they get additional down payment money from their parents. So that's pretty cool. And then so when the buyer surveys go out from NAR, as well as Zillow, there are top 3 things that buyers look for on a listing. Anybody know what they are? Top 3 things that they want on a listing. Number 1,
Floor plan.
photos. Photos are right. So don't use your iPhone photos. Don't use your bad photos. Number 2, data. They want to know about the listing, what it is, describe it to me. Number 3, floor plans. Right. So those are the 3 things that buyers are looking for when they're looking at purchasing a house and going out and actually looking at the house. And so I have one client friend who's buying a house, and he texts me, and he says, "Why don't agents have floor plans on listings?" He's out there with his agent, and he's like, "This, I would have never come to this house if I would have seen the floor plan." So they really, really want it. So I would have been really good. Benefits to you as a broker: you're going to win more listings. I can pretty much guarantee that. Right? We've already seen that. We've got anecdotal evidence and we've got empirical evidence that agents are winning listings since this came out. We only launched last week, Wednesday, right? So we only launched 4 days ago, and they won list. I've already gotten texts and I've got emails saying I just want a listing because of this. So that's cool. I think that's cool. You're going to generate more leads, and I'll show you the prioritized placement and the more marketing on you versus premier agents, and then massive listing exposure for getting your name out there. Massive listing exposure. The 79% more views, the 91% more. So your name's going to be pushed out for faster and more because of this. And again, you could relaunch your listing. So if you have a listing that's been on the market for 3 weeks, think about maybe relaunching that listing and getting a price reduction with Zillow Showcase. And then we talked about the listing in every buyer's box, right? So this is really about if they have safe search, they'll get it. If they don't have a safe search, they'll sometimes just get this because this home has been listed, blah, blah, blah. You'll see the price reductions. The story that I tell, I was talking to Nicole, who has done this without us, right? So she signed up as an early adopter. She has the listing. The listing was getting stale. It's only been it was on the market for 3 weeks. She did an open house. They got 1 person come to her. And then she did a price reduction, and they had 22 people come through the next week. And most of that was because it was pushed out to all the people that had seen the home. It's going to send it out again saying, "Hey, this home that you looked at just had a price reduction." And so it encouraged everybody to come out. So that is, I think, a pretty good evidence that the system works. So these are some key successes for you. So we'll talk about this as well. You should have all received an email saying log into your Zillow workspace. If you haven't, then do a search in your email for workspace, and it should pop up. If it doesn't, talk to Eric. Talk to Tony. Talk to Jim. We can get that resent to you. So that's super easy to do. Or you can email us at Zillow@showcase.com. And I mean Zillow at johnwellscott.com. And I get those and I'll make sure you get resent. So get in there and start looking around, play around. And in the upper right hand corner it says add a listing. So you press add a listing and it'll walk you through the whole process of adding a listing. If you haven't updated your Zillow profile, if you have that photo that was, when you first got into the business, in my case 26 years ago, go update it. Okay? Go update your photo, go update your profile. What have you done? What do you specialize in? Because people are going to see that. So make sure you go into Zillow and update all of that information. Ask for reviews that you haven't got reviews on. So you can do all of that in the Zillow profile. Make sure you leverage it at listing presentations. We'll give you some marketing materials. We'll have them out probably by the end of the day. So we'll send it out to you. And then of course, invest in high quality media. We'll talk about that here in a second. So this is where you go into Zillow Showcase. And one of the things that you should do is go in and take a look at the Zillow Showcase on your own. So who in your marketplace, who are your competitors that are utilizing Zillow Showcase? And that's super easy to do. So go to your marketplace. So let's say it's Kent. I type in Kent. That's going to pop up 500 listings in Kent. And then you can go over and you can press more. And on more on the scroll, one of the things is must have Zillow Showcase. Click on that and you'll see that 500 and you'll see the 5 that have Zillow Showcases. Take a look at those agents and know that if you're on a listing, appointment and they're on the listing appointment as well, you're going to see that that's not a competitive advantage necessarily, but it's something you should talk about. Log into Zillow Workspace and jump on there. So the big question that I get is, how do I make sure that my listing has a Zillow floor plan? And do I have to do anything different? We've all done Matterport, right? Matterport is something that's out there. Now Matterport is owned by whom? CoStar, who owns Homes.com. You think Homes.com and Zillow see eye to eye? No, they don't. So if you have a Matterport, Zillow can't use it. Homes.com changed the agreement, so you can't even display that on Zillow.com. So that's that kind of sucks, but that's just portal wars that are happening right now. But you do need Zillow Showcase photography. So and what that means is that you have basically 4 ways to capture that. The first of which is you can use Zillow media experts. Now these are employees of Zillow. And they go out and they'll shoot the home. They'll give you the 25 photos 25 high quality, high res photos. You got 30, sorry. They'll give you the Zillow 3D tour. They'll give you the floor plan. They'll give you the pictures on the floor plan. And then they'll also do the superimposement. So when you look at a map, they superimpose where that house is and then where those photos are taken. So if your client is really, wants to make sure that they face west or southwest, then you can look at that, and that's kind of a cool little feature. If you do the Premier package, it also includes a sky tour. I'll show you what that looks like, video, and a virtual twilight and social media video. I'm not sure I love the social media video, so I'm not sure that's a big advantage, but regardless, so that you can use that. You can also use a partner that we've had for a while, which is Virtuance. Virtuance does Zillow photography, and they have 2 different packages. They lowered the price. Oh, by the way, on both of these, it doesn't matter how big the house is. It could be 10,000 square feet. It's still going to be the same price. So that's kind of a cool feature. Because a lot of times our photographers charge us $1,500 to $2,500 this price, 25 to 35 it's this price, 35 up it's custom pricing. Zillow Media Experts is definitely the one price fits all, which is nice. There's also the Virtuance does a couple other things. They do 10 aerial images of video, green grass, and blue sky guarantee with the $4.99 package. Maybe do an A/B comparison. Do one with Zillow Media and then do one with Virtuins. The third is, I know some of you are just like married to your photographer, like literally married to your photographer or figuratively. And so in that case, as long as they can do the Zillow showcase, if they have already done it, they're probably advertising it. If they haven't, we can get them to be Zillow showcase certified. So super easy to do. Tony.
Question I've gotten is there an additional fee for the photography?
Yes, there is usually an additional fee. So it's kind of like a Matterport add-on. Like a lot of times they'll come out with packages. These packages are already set, right? So we've already negotiated these, so these are set. But if you choose your own photographer, a lot of times they'll say, hey, the first 25 photos and the first 30 photos are part of my package. But if you want to add on the Zillow showcase, it's going to be an additional $100 or something to that effect. So every photographer is different. Talk to your photographer. And if several of you use the same photographer, a lot of times you can go to them and negotiate that rate down. And we've been really successful at that.
Can you use the 3D tour and the floor plan on other platforms?
You can, yeah. So once that's created, that asset, you can. It's a link. It's like a Matterport. So it's just a link, and you can put it on Northwest MLS. You can put it on all the other platforms. JohnScott.com. We're looking at getting an API that comes directly from Zillow back to John Scott, so it shows up on JohnScott.com as prominent as like a Matterport tour does. So we're working through that issue right now. So you can choose your own photographer, right? You can choose the guy gal that you use all this time, and so they just need to make sure that we're certified. The final option, which I'm not going to mention, but you could do it yourself. Yeah, you have to buy a camera, and then you have to do it. Then you have to do the whole learning how to do it. It's probably cheaper for you, and a better use of your time to go get a copy appointment with a client as opposed to learning how to use the showcase and save yourself that $100. So Zillow Media Experts, they're in most of our markets. They're not in Kitsap. So if you have a listing in, say, Port Orchard, they're not going to be able to do it. But for the most part, everywhere else that we kind of service, they do. And if you get a listing down in Portland, they're also there too. So the Zillow Media Experts are here, and you get the first one. They'll give you half. So the first time, test it out. So, and I would test out the Premiere. So $220. You get all your media, your floor plans, your photos, the virtual tour, all that fun stuff for $220.
Also photos.
Half off one. Half off one. Virtuins has a little bit more coverage area. So if you have a listing in Port Orchard, Virtuins does cover it. They don't cover the islands, but it is what it is. And then they also have a 50% off first order, and that's $249 as opposed to $500. So I don't know what the code is on that, but we'll get it to you if you're interested. All right, let's jump to a live demo. Oh, by the way, the cost, overall cost. So as I said, you have to sign a contract for a year, $750 if you go get it yourself. So if you were at a competing firm under, you would have to pay $9 grand, right? For us, you don't have to pay, you don't have to sign a contract. You could choose it off the shelf. You don't have to say, hey, I have to get 12 listings this year. Maybe you only get 8, you lose the other 4 credits. So in that case, you could pick ad hoc, and it's only $208. So it's more than basically 50% off this point. So pretty good price considering what the market is in this area. Do you want to drive, Eric? Sure. Pocket to drive it.
$208 per listing or $208
per list.
Okay.
So $280 per listing. Per MLS number. $280 per. If you cancel that listing and relist at a lower price, you got to pay for it again. So this is another good sort of opportunity to sell. Like, let's make sure we price it right the first time we get it sold and not overprice it. But if you do a price drop, then the Zillow showcase stays with it. So, and that actually might work out just as well because of all that push notifications to the buyers. So let's go to a standard listing first. So I think that's there. This one. I'm choosing Oregon because we don't have enough of them up here. This is what your buyers see when they jump on Zillow.com. So they see the photos. It's cool. Well, actually, why are they showing a floor plan?
Because they broker paid for it.
Oh, it's just a regular floor plan. Okay. So this is a non-showcase listing. Over on the right, well, who's listing it? Is that a curiosity? In order to see who's listing it, we have to scroll down to right here, and it's listed by Alpine Real Estate, and here's their phone number. No listing agent, no marketing for you, right here. Here you have this listing, you get all these potential buyers,
Contact agent.
but you can't do that. And so then you think, okay, well, I want to contact the agent. I want to contact the listing agent to find out some more information. So when I press on contact agent, who do you think that goes to? For me, I think it's coming to me as the listing agent, but it doesn't. It goes to a Zillow Premier agent who's either paying for the zip code, $5,000 a month, or they're on a flex team, which they pay 35% referral fee back to Zillow. And that agent knows nothing about the listing, right? If you request a tour, where does that go? You've all got those emails saying this buyer wants to see this home, right? No. That goes to Zillow Premier agents as well. So nowhere can they click here to get to you. And we think that's a bad experience, right? So let's switch over to the other one. So this is a Zillow Premier, it's not Zillow Premier, a Zillow Showcase listing. Nicole, who's an agent in our Bend office, has paid for a contract of 12 months. She was paying $750 a month. We ripped that up. So anybody that has a contract where Zillow will rip that up and they can now use our credits instead of theirs. And so if I click on Nicole, what happens? Nicole's profile pops up. In the non-showcase, that didn't exist, right? Now all of a sudden she's front and center. That's her phone number. That's her website. If you contact it, it's going to go through. And for every listing that she's got on, she's at least got one web inquiry for that listing. So that's kind of cool, right? You wouldn't get a web inquiry on a non-Zillow showcase. So that's nice. Here was the price cut of $1 million, by the way. Over here, if I say it's listed by Nicole, if I press contact Nicole, where does that lead go?
Nicole.
Goes to Nicole. If I press to request a tour, where does that go?
Nicole.
No.
That one goes to.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
That actually goes to Zillow Premier. Right? They still need to monetize. They still need to be able to sell advertising in the open market. And so that's what, and they disclose to us that it's about a 50-50. So some people just want to request a tour. And so now we have a lot of Zillow showcase agents that are saying, hey, how do I do Nicole Fitch request a tour, John L. Scott? So we're working on that. We're going to try and figure that out. But the really cool thing is we have a thing called seller listing launch. When we do seller listing launch, what do we do?
Invite the neighbors.
So we do an open house, right? Meet the neighbors, and then we do 2 open houses in the first weekend. If I show that if I put in the MLS that we're gonna do open houses, those open houses appear here. Up here, pushes Nicole down just a little bit, which pushes request a tour down to what an old term is in newspaper terminology, which is below the fold, right? Below the fold. So you push that request a tour down below the fold, which is a really good thing. So if I have a Zillow showcase listing, I'm always going to have an open house schedule. It may not be this weekend, maybe 6 months from now, but it's going to be up there because it's going to show that there's a listing, there's an open house, and that pushes the request tour down further. So a little trick. All right, so we can go into the floor plan. So you'll see. Oh, by the way, this experience right there, how much better that experience was, where it's just panning and it's going through. It's carouseling through 4 photos. So your top 4 photos Your top 4 photos are what it's going to carousel through. So make sure the top 4 photos are good photos, right? Yeah. If you don't have 4 good photos, then I can't help you. So this is obviously a big house, and every one of those blue dots and those green dots are media. So the blue dots, so click on the bottom left-hand corner. This one, yeah. Show you the 3D home. So this is the Matterport experience. You can pan around, you can look up, down, look at the carpet, so on and so forth. And then if we go back to the floor plan again, and if you click on one of the, if you go floor plan, let's go back. Yeah. And if you click on one of the green dots, any green dot, that'll take you to the photo. So you can, buyers can kind of feel like what the house looks like, how it walks, how it flows, I should say. Cars available for sale. So you can have we're back to 1970.
It's a bonus for the agent.
Yeah. As long as this is the buyer agency agreement. So you can see it's kind of a really cool experience, better experience than most just clicking through 25 photos or 30 photos. Now, if we go back to the press back up here. Let's say your clients, your clients are going to hate the house because of furniture, but you know that they're really modern and they like modern furniture. So we're going to click on virtual staging. This is only available in Showcase, and we're going to choose one of 8 different staging options. You could do modern, no furniture, Scandinavian. I don't know who would ever choose Scandinavian, but IKEA, industrial, mid-century, luxury, farmhouse, and coastal. Wow. So here, it's going to take a photo and it's going to virtually stage every one of the photos, every one of the pictures.
Oh my gosh.
So there is what it is right now, right? Oh, no, go back. This is what it is. It's a standard. And then you scroll over. This is with modern furniture. You'll notice that some of the details get kind of washed out. It's not perfect, but it's still better than nothing. Click on no furniture. Oh yeah, the no furniture is kind of cool. I don't know how it does this, but it does it pretty good. Right? It does a pretty good job of no furniture. You can see that it's not perfect, right? It's not as detailed, but it gives your clients buyers an additional kind of tool to take a look at what that house looks like. Let's go to a different picture. Okay. Great. Keep going. One with.
Oh, I'm running through them. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm staging this space. I got to go back.
No, go to a
Right?
different picture.
Just go photos first, or no, virtual staging, then pick the photo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's this one.
Yeah, try that. Try and switch the staging. There you go. So kind of a cool thing. You can show your buyers this, right? I mean, your sellers, and say, hey, this is what the buyer that potentially buys your house can now envision it in their style and their furniture. And that is included in the Zillow Showcase and is part of the deal. Pretty cool. Let's go back to the main thing. One more. Okay, there we go. The map. Go ahead and click on the map. So the map, you click on lot lines. A lot of times people want to know what the lot lines look like. So that's not showing it on this one for some reason. But you can look at satellite roads. It's similar to everything else. But then there's a way you could superimpose the photo, and I forget how you do that. I have to go play around a little bit more. I haven't done my homework. My apologies. All right, let's go back. All right. And then you have the photos as well. So click on the right here. You see the prominent, some John L. Scott, and then the carrot. So the carrot also pulls up her profile. So you can click on her name or you can click on the carrot and it shows her contact information. But this now features you as opposed to a Zillow Premier agent. And so I think that's kind of a cool little feature. So a big feature.
Like 75 photos.
All right, let's go to the next tab. Because you're in the Zillow media and your photographer can't do this. You have to actually, and Virtuids can't do this. You have to actually use a Zillow media expert for this, the 440. They have another feature called the Sky Tour. So if we click on Sky Tour, it's basically a Matterport, but from the sky. And so you could scroll around and see the rest of the neighborhood. You could see how big the yard is, how much junk the neighbor has in their backyard, or alternatively, how much junk they have in their yard. So scroll down. Yeah, go right there. Go back. So this takes staging to a whole new level, right? So when you tell your seller, hey, we want to probably remove all this stuff on the side yard because we're going to see it in the Sky Tour. If they refuse, don't do this. Don't do the Sky Tour, right? You're just gonna hurt yourself. But you can see everybody.
Which ones doesn't have it?
This is for the upgraded one. So this is the 440 as opposed to the 290. So it just like any one of your other listings, like what is the best thing to market your client's house, and you have to make that decision on all of that. So that is Zillow Showcase. That is what you get, right? You get more advertising, you get more prominence, you get contacted from Zillows.com, which gets 227 million views. You get a lot of push notifications pushing your listing and your information out there. And on top of all of that, your sellers are really happy. Oh, for one thing that I didn't mention, is sellers get really, really happy when they get the report from you about who's looking at their house. So what they do is they'll send out a weekly report, and on that weekly report, it will show the competition, your peer group, and your listing, and how your listing is performing compared to theirs. And what you'll notice is that you'll see a ton more clicks, a ton more shares, and a ton more likes than listings around them. So your sellers get that immediate gratification, like I chose the right agent, because look at how much more prominence my house is getting versus my neighbors. So that is kind of a cool little feature as well. Open it up to questions.
Can you go back to map of coverage for our area?
Yes. That's in the showcase. And right here. So if you have a listing, let's see here. In Yakima, they don't have it, but it goes pretty far south. It goes almost all the way down to what's that, White Pass?
Oh, okay.
All of Tacoma, not in Olympia. Interesting. They'll do almost White Pass, but they won't do Olympia.
They're not sure it's covered, right?
But Virtuous does cover it.
But it's the Zillow Media Showcase, their photographers, they cover Maple Valley over there.
Yes. Yeah, Maple Valley, anything in King County, King, Snohomish, what's north? Whatcom, thank you. Whatcom County, Pierce, and half of Thurston County.
How do you
Sketch. This is super easy. So if we go, can you log into your Zillow Media? Your
Is it?
no, you got to go to your.
It's the new link.
Showcase.
Yeah. I don't remember the.
It'll be.
I don't know if it will find it.
That's just a lead generation. When you log into the back part, your space, your workspace. So you
Ancient Showcase.
remember that if you search in your email, you
Yeah.
search for a workspace. You get in there and you sign in. Make sure you link your accounts, right? So that is
So you get to the workspace, who's the Donald Scott?
no through an email that was sent to you, and that email was sent to you last week Tuesday. So, and if you don't have it, let me know and I'll get it to you. But you log into Workspace, link your current Zillow account with this account. You're going to want to do that first. You want to update all your information. But then in the upper right hand corner, it's going to say add a listing. You click on add a listing, you put in the address, it auto populates. and then it says order media. And you can either choose. Oh, you're there, okay. So add a listing.
You
So-
have opinion about the Zillow media exports versus entrance?
I don't have enough data to offer an opinion. I am looking for a lot of A/B testing right now. So we have 70 showcase listings right now since last week, Wednesday.
7.
And of those, I'd say 50% were Zillow media experts and half were, a quarter were their own agent, their own photographer, and a quarter were virtualists. So I'm gonna reach out after the listing goes live and all of that, and I'll have a better opinion for you in a week and a half. So we just put in property address. What address do we want to use? Anybody want to volunteer an address?
For something that's on there already?
No, any, do,
Can be ours, 14440. 196,
Oh, you said
There's
444?
3 floors, yeah. 196th Avenue,
196?
yes. Southeast. Yep.
and then, you can put seller name, I would. We could just put Smith, or you're gonna delete it anyway, so. Yeah. And then press add listing. So this is where you have, it's gonna populate. So you can order showcasing media, or if you could just order, let's just do just ordering media for right now. So
What's the difference?
So the showcase, if I click the upper right one, that would have been, I would have been ordering showcase right away. Yeah. This I'm just getting the media. I'm not coming on the market for another 2 weeks. I just want to order the media right now. I don't want to pay for the showcase credit yet because the seller hasn't signed the listing agreement or whatever the case may be. But this is also really good because you get to go in and see what photographers are actually utilizing Zillow Showcase. So here it says 36 photography companies that are doing and shooting Zillow Showcase. The first one is Zillow Media Experts. But Boone Brothers, if you have your own photographer and they haven't, you don't find them here, invite them to the platform and say, hey, go get. And I believe Zillow will pay for the camera for them. So they want to get people to take advantage of this. Bracket, Centerville, Clear Capture. I don't even know half of these companies. But you could just kind of scroll down and you could see and check to see what photography companies you want to take advantage of, or do some research and see which one's the least expensive. John Marshall has a discount as well, and I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'll get it to Eric and Tony and Jim to send out to everybody. The big one up here is Clarity Northwest. And a lot of people use that for luxury listings, Clarity Northwest. They're probably one of the more expensive companies, but they do use Zillow Showcase. And they do that as well.
And so, John, if we decide to go with any of these photographers here, we also need to look at the verbiage as to what they are offering, which may be different from, okay.
A lot of these individual photographers, we can click on one, like click on Boone Brothers. Book or view book. Let's see view. So they give you the price. So you scroll down, they'll tell you the more. Yeah. Well, they don't tell you the price. You might have to go to their website to look at it.
So then that price is on top of the 220 or 440.
So there's always the capturing the photos,
Right.
right? So you're gonna have to capture media regardless,
Right.
right? And so that's the question is, what media are you capturing? If you want to use Showcase, then that that would be either an add-on, or if you use a Zillow Media Expert, it would be that price. The 280 Showcase credit, consider that advertising. That's an advertising, so that's an add-on. So you capture the media.
They don't put it on anything,
And the advertising is
just a description.
yeah, you probably have to go to their website. Yes.
Is that price a leader at right now, one that price would be good for? I understand Zillow has to monetize this. How longer is this price gonna be placed until they set the price to cover all their investment?
So the question is, how long can we guarantee this price? That's basically what you're asking, right?
Pretty much.
We have a 1-year contract. And at the end of that 1 year, if we blow expectations out of the water, we're hoping we actually kill that price. So in a year from now, we want to offer 2 solutions, and this I'm steep peak. We want to offer a much cheaper option on Showcase, and we want to offer a pay at close, so that you really pay for it at close. We have exactly. So stay tuned. We have to blow this contract out of the water first. So we have a 1 year, at least 1 year guarantee.
Is this already going on in Oregon?
It's already out.
Live.
So this has been out, but you would have, as an individual agent, you would have had to sign the contract. And that we had 24 people that had signed contracts that I reached out to saying, you want to cancel yours. 23 out of the 24 were paying way more than what we were paying. And so in the Seattle metropolitan King County, it's $750 a credit. If you go to like Yakima, it's more like $550 a credit. So it just depends on your marketplace. Karen,
You have a 1 page that we can slip into our listing presentations.
how about by the end of the day?
It's coming.
It's gonna be 2 pages.
Go.
It'll be 2 page. It'll be first, they'll talk about the benefits and the features of
Okay.
what Zillow Showcase is. The second page will be about the seller reports and what they're gonna get moving forward.
We'd be on it.
So,
So I have a question. So if we have a listing already that just came on this weekend,
yes.
and we've already done the photo shoot with the photographer who's probably not on there, who's kind of guy. I love him to death. I would have to get it completely
Zillow 3D
reshot.
tour. You need Zillow 3D tool.
Yeah. We had one person that did it and they were so
All
excited.
the other photos too, or just the 3D?
You don't have to.
Yeah, you could just do the 3D tour. Yeah.
The 3D.
We had one guy that got really excited and he pressed the wrong button. He did the Matterport instead of Zillow Showcase. So he couldn't take advantage of the Zillow Showcase. Wow.
What do you do when you are a team and you have more than 1 or 2? Well, events that are out there.
Can you go back to the your platform, Zillow Workspace? Bar right. Yeah,
That's what I'm in right now.
do you have any listings?
I do,
Yeah, click on your listing.
I think. Or go back.
Click on this.
Oh, there's the other one.
Yeah. So you go over to this, you would add
Team member.
team member or
Bam. Oh, this member can't be selected until they accept their workspace invitation.
so let's say
Okay.
once your entire team does their accepts, you can add that. But Eric could add Tony right now. Or you could add our listing and transaction coordinator, right? So click on,
Go back.
and then it's 2 different options.
Team.
Client, vendor,
Vendor.
so you can add a vendor if you want to. But Tony, he's not a client, he's a collaborator, co-listing agent, listing agent, coordinator. It just gives the one thing that the collaborative person can't do. So now that he's added Tony can't order the showcase. Eric has to order the showcase because they don't want Tony to have access to Eric's credit card.
Yeah.
So but once that credit card's in and you just press go. Yes.
I guess with the retail price, this is more geared towards like luxury listings. Have you guys done some research on what
No.
necessarily
I put it on everything.
that we should target for this product?
Say that again.
So at the retail rates,
Yeah.
like to everybody else, it's the 12 months, it's the $9,000. Guessing this would be more towards like the luxury listings, but folks like kind of in that space to make the ROI work, pay for this for your advertising.
I've
It's a
seen,
discounted rate. What do you think like a Sarah plateau where we should go for price points?
I was in my demo last week, I was showing a showcase listing and it was $75,000. So, I mean, if in fact you do generate, a higher sales price for your seller, I'd say do it for all. And it's all the leads coming to you too, right? So it's the opposite. And what they don't tell you is that phone number's there. They can't track when they get called. But if you talk to the Zillow Showcase agents, they're getting more calls because their phone number's there as opposed to going to a Zillow agent. And so they can track when somebody says, I'm interested in this property, contact Nicole, but they can't track when somebody picks up the phone and calls or texts. So, fine.
going back to being able to add a collaborator or vendor, if you add a vendor, does it the benefits, I guess, then how do you put them on there if they're not signed up?
They gotta sign up first.
Okay,
Yeah, so you can invite them to the platform.
so you invite them to the platform,
Yep.
and then if it is a vendor, a lender, plumber, whatever, will they information show? And their logos or anything? I mean, because what would be the benefit?
You're like 5 steps ahead of me. I have no idea. I'll find out.
Why?
I just out of curiosity, so here is Kent, right? And it says there's 316 listings.
Let's guess, let's see how many people think there, how many showcases you think are in Kent? What do you think?
5.
5?
8.
And notice the Zillow
Two.
showcase has
Zero.
the little stars next to it, so they're standing out. But let's
You see how, yeah, the prices has got the
Yeah.
star. So you know there's more than that. So let's go to filter. Must have showcase.
so 614.
5.
Oh my God.
There's only
Less
5.
than 1%. Less than 1% of listings have showcases.
Wow.
Yes. So how did you get there again? Show me that.
I just searched map and then filters.
So you
more
went to
filters.
Kent.
Yeah.
And then you went to more filters.
And then scroll down and you must have showcase for tours.
Great way to advertise for Zillow.
Great
For them to put that on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cause you're always gonna be on top.
So who are the 5?
Oh,
Out of curiosity.
Let's
Yeah,
look.
that's
Let's see
fun.
who they are.
We-
John Scott.
Great Keisha.
Corey Pisha.
So he's got
Who she's with.
Well, what I found is a lot of these are like the small companies
Mhm.
because they can't get the advertising that they need to show to really highlight their broker, their seller, I should say. 2 is Brian Alfie with Windermere. He has quite a few listings and he's taking advantage of it. But if he came over to John Scott,
Windermere also has this program? No, so he's paying the big bucks.
he's paying the big bucks.
all of these people are.
So if I
Corey.
if I wanted
Yeah.
Brian to be part of my office, Eric and Jim might pick up the phone and call Brian and say, "Hey Brian, you're paying $750 a credit right now.
I might
Come on over
want
here."
to
You get it.
I still want that.
Eric, get on the phone.
Oh, I love this. Pressure him. And Tony and Jim. Jesse Savage with Paramount Real Estate Group.
Never heard of.
Paying for it.
That's outside of Kent, but oh, yes, no, it's not.
Keisha?
Keisha again. He's got 3.
Winning.
He's winning a lot of listings.
We got the recruitment.
That was the same one.
That's the same one, yeah,
That's the recruitment list, yeah.
same one.
Thank you.
They're getting on the phone after this appointment. This meeting.
Oh, here's my time. Look at it. Better way. I know we're out of Kent now, but.
Jason Mitchell Group.
Yep.
So there's some recruiting opportunities for us. But what's more is the opportunity for us. If we could go win 10% of the listings in the marketplace, nobody else can buy a showcase. So we all take advantage of it.
Why are they flagging it at 10%?
Because if every listing was a showcase listing,
There's no advantage then.
Right? So the exclusivity is always a
So
bonus.
So what's that percentage at now? If the 10%?
2%.
2%, okay.
So
So are they?
615 listings in Kent. All we have to do is go win 60 listings. We own it.
So is it by area? Oh,
It's gonna be by area.
okay, so
Yeah.
then once we own Kent, we'll get the
I don't
10%,
know if they're gonna consider Kent.
or is it gonna be
It's
just
probably gonna be
the whole
more,
area?
yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If you have any questions, comments, as you start going in and you're going into your Zillow workspace, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Zillow's
None in Maple
support
Valley?
is really good. But you can also email us at zillow@johnlscott.com and we'll get those.
That's crazy.
Well, that's really developed,
But
going on
they
out there,
find your passwords or.
nothing people
Reset it.
look like that.
Reset your password.
I'm on it.
So,
Great account.
Yeah.
so let's say you have a listing that's temporarily off the market.
Perfect.
And you wanna put it back on the market, obviously. More likely the photographer is not a Zillow show. Can you redo everything and then turn into a Zillow showcase even though it was listed?
Okay. And the question becomes whether or not you, well, you, TOK, you can't come back on, you can't cancel it back on. So you get back on with new media.
Okay.
Unless you're greater than a 5% price reduction, then you can cancel, relist it, and then redo your new marketing too. Man, that would be smart. That'd be the way to
You're
do
just
it.
back up on the same, you can't cancel and relist it, but you can use the social media.
So you can redo the whole.
All your media.
Okay.
It'd be cool to call expireds too and say, I will make you a house that showcase.
Yeah.
You're always critical in the
That's a good-
thinking, Jim. What's the negative of this?
How much money you're gonna lose by not doing it is the negative. You know, here's the thing, you know, you were asking about return on investment and price point and whatever. If you had a better chance to get the listing used for showcase, why wouldn't you use it on any price range?
And that,
Yeah, I mean, don't think it's for luxury properties only. I mean, if I had a better chance to get a listing, it increased my chances 35, 40, 50%. Why wouldn't I do that everything? For no brainer.
$100.
It's $100.
Yeah.
It's almost spent that on
almost just
a coffee.
You're having as a budget.
Yeah.
How much are 50 postcards these days?
Yeah, it's pretty.
$100 bucks?
All that.
100.
And you get 50 people, here you're getting how many views?
So John, you wanna kind of touch on when they do request, when your information's on there, how important it is to have Zillow reviews on there too, because they're going to your Zillow profile, right?
They are.
Okay, so you wanna emphasize on how important that is?
Yeah, I mean, those that have 0 reviews, that, you can go in, it's super easy into your profile and go to every single one of your past clients and press request a review. Press for request a review. And this is another connection point for you, right? So you can go and say, hey, Eric, we haven't touched base in quite some time. I just wanted to check in, how's the house, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna send you a request for a Zillow review. Would you be kind enough to offer a positive Zillow review? And then you can start getting your reviews up and that will help you in the next. So. You wanna log into your Zillow profile?
oh, that one's a different one.
It is.
Little workspace of them.
I know. 2 different, oh, it's gonna keep going.
Zillow.com.
I'm trying.
No, Zillow workspace, I'll give you the option.
Still it?
Upper right hand corner.
Yeah.
Your profile,
Your account.
your account, yeah.
Log out.
Connected experiences. Now. Click on,
Yeah.
I already connected it.
you click on there, you click anywhere. Oh, I just go to Zillow.com.
That's what I did. So I jumped to that.
You gotta press
Oh, is it?
space, press space, there you go. Now sign in.
Now sign in. Wait. Get a different one.
So for this, like management type in matrix, this is it, so then we have to put everything into this secondary time, it's a straight bump to the MLS, like.
It looks great.
It does.
And the other thing to note is, so once you order the Zillow Showcase Media and the photographer uploads it, we've had a lot of problems with photographers not uploading it. The process, there's a manual process in Zillow that a live person is looking at that. So they say it takes about 24 hours to get that media into it. So if you have a listing coming out Thursday, make sure your photographer shoots it. Give it 48 hours update. We have big complaint. Bro, it's not working. And reached out and there's no media. The photographer hadn't uploaded it. It's like, oh, I forgot, sorry. Not me using it, but, so yeah,
Would you suggest that every agent do at least one as a demo to? Does it live forever? Can I take it on, we're not listing for tools, so here's what I did on this particular listing. And here's kind of what we do for yours.
I think that it's I think the Zillow showcase goes way after it's done. So after it sells, I don't think it just gotta you could take screenshots of it.
Right.
Yeah, all right. So that's where I think I market these that we're gonna talk about. Serious kind of thing. All right, your past sales.
Yeah, I just requested a review, but
You click on. Did you do it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, walk us through it.
click the request a review, type in their email, and say that you're the person that indicated it was a past client, send it. That's it.
So go through all your listings and press boom, 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 and
Pretty
hopefully
easy.
you'll get 5, 10, 15, 20 reviews.
So this sample that you're using this house in Oregon.
Yes.
That's a live listing.
The live listing.
Okay, so that's not one. So you can't use that.
Oh, Eric offers showcase to make listings stand out. It actually shows that on my profile now, John.
What's that?
Eric, for sure.
Eric offers showcase to make listings stand out.
Look at that. Cool. They keep adding things. At
Yeah.
one point in time, the Zillow showcase showed up with a little JPEG of
Mhm.
the house. So when you looked at the map, you saw 4 JPEGs of the showcase listings, which I thought was really cool. And I'm like, can you please put that back? I want that. And they're like, well, we're doing A/B testing, blah, blah, blah. So we could see that in the future.
All right.
Zillow at johnlscott.com. Let me know if you have any questions. Go try one out, test it, and go win more lists. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye.